the sidewalk so that as night shift gets removed, they can see us out here supporting them.
You know what, over the last couple of days, a lot of things have happened. We filed a federal labor charge against the employer for basically bargaining in bad faith, and the public knows about that now. We also, discovered that they were talking with the replacement agency way back in March, and that stuff's getting exposed by the community. The community is behind you. We have messages even in our office in Augusta from people saying, what can I do? Can I get a lawn sign? So yes, we are going to be making lawn signs today too, because a lot of people have been asking for it. You know what? We will win this. We had 2 other hospitals across the country that were slated to go out around the same time. In Washington, D.C., it was just about recognizing the union, right? And they, they settled the strike in Washington, D.C. for now because they're recognizing the union. So they had to win in D.C. That's good. They've got a long way to go. You're not alone in this, right? Okay, here's some good news. Some more, this is better news. In Michigan, Sparrow Hospital, 1,900 nurses. Guess what they're fighting about? Staffing. They settled the contract 2 days ago. They settled the contract. It's got to happen. People are doing it. Tamik, Maine Coast, they have staffing language. You will win this. There is no reason we can't get this here. All right?
Well, the contract that they offered, they said was mighty fine. It's so darn pathetic, we'll be on the picket line. I don't want no more double talk. I'd rather be doing patient care. One more time!
Good morning, everybody. This is terrific. I thought, my daughter said, how do you think people will show up? I said, oh, probably 40. If we can get 40, that'd be great. And we got way over 40. Early morning. A couple things I wanted to say. When this very, very first started, before the candlelight vigil, it kind of happened so quickly that we were in bargaining, and then they were like not interested. They haven't been interested from the very beginning, and it was very difficult to feel the pulse on the floors. You're 130 nurses less than you were a year ago. Busy all the time, overtime, working your butts off, and it was hard to know how much support was there. And I was I was scared. And we waited a while. We did the picketing, and then we did the candlelight vigil. And of course, I cried then too, because you guys never you never let yourselves down. And now we've gone this far, and we're not going to give up. We're not going to back down to them. They are not going to win this. This is ours. This is ours. And as long as they're willing to pay our pep time, heck, I got a lot. So, we can do this, whatever. But there are whole lots of other job actions that we can do that don't cost you your money and don't cost you to leave your patients. There's a lot of things we got up our sleeve, but this is going to be very costly for them, from the community. The patients that I've talked to are very supportive of us. Very supportive of what we're looking for. It'd be one thing if we all wanted to park on the bottom level of the garage and we were striking for that. We're not stupid. We wouldn't be doing something like that. So I want to thank you all for coming out. We're going right up to Bangor Motor Inn. Is there going to be coffee? Yeah. Okay. Is there going to be coffee? Okay. I know we're going to be there 9 to 5. If you can stay for a few hours, make some signs. We're doing our regular red and white ones, and we may have to wrap some of those in plastic in case it showers. That's fine. We don't care. We'll do it. We're proud to be there. I would just like to take a moment for our patients and for the community, and for our nurses who just left, and the ones that didn't get to go in today. Just bow your head for just a moment, please.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about what's going on today and what's been going on for the past couple days.
the hospital offered us their best, last, and final offer for the contract, and there was no language in it. We're trying to get safe staffing ratios, and we're willing to work on that, and they don't want to talk about that at all with us. That's one of our major issues. So we took a vote and authorized the union to put in for a strike, and we gave them notice, and after that they decided that they would lock us out for 2 days before the strike. So that's what happened Saturday. We had people that were willing, we were all willing to come in and go to work, but they told us that if we showed up and we came on the property that we would be considered trespassing. So we were out here to support our fellow nurses coming off the night shift Friday night for Saturday morning. And today, this is our strike day, so we've been here. I've been here since 6 o'clock, a little bit after 6 this morning. We're going to be here till 10 o'clock tonight, just letting people know, this isn't about wages, this isn't about things like that. This is about safe staffing, and we've already heard that inside things are going really pretty smoothly, which is a good thing. We were worried about our patients. These aren't local nurses taking care of, these are people that came in just for this. They're people that do this kind of work, and they're going to be here for 3 days, and then they don't really have any kind of incentive to foster things with the community like we do. And so we're glad to hear that our patients are being taken care of, but part of that is because they've upstaffed, and if we had that kind of staffing, things would go smoothly for us too. So that's what we're trying to tell the hospital, and we hope that we can get back to the table and get something done about this.
Yeah, she's home from work.
Neil Martin from Millinocket Regional Hospital is here. We want
we think this is a really important cause at Food and Medicine, because we see that when the nurses stand up and work together in solidarity and win, then we win as well, because what we want to see is workers all over Eastern Maine being able to stand together and win improvements for themselves and for the community as a whole. When workers are treated better and respected and have a voice on the job, our whole community works better, and people can participate in society in a much more meaningful way. So, and because it's a patient care issue, it really does directly affect the rest of us as well, whether the hospital is staffed adequately. So we're making an effort to bring out the support to show that a large part of the community does support them. Eastern Maine Medical Center is a nonprofit. They're supposed to be accountable to the community, and in fact they're saying one of their excuses for not negotiating is that there's the community, they have to listen to the community. So we want to show them that the community is actually saying listen to the nurses by doing a union-to-union sign effort. We've been making signs all weekend. We've had a huge amount of help from volunteers, union members like Ben Pratt of the firefighters up in Orono, and Pete Gervais and his union brothers from IAM down in Clinton at FormTech have all been helping out a lot, doing a sort of a DIY sign making factory here at the Solidarity Center, and getting the signs out. And we've been doing that through a neighbor-to-neighbor approach, where it's union members talking to other union members in their neighborhood, sometimes getting to know them for the first time, and talking about what's an issue, a really important issue, and getting the signs out there. And you really do notice them going around town now, and I think the nurses will notice them as they're going to picket today.
It brings me out here, solidarity with the nurses at Eastern Maine. You know what I mean? I work with these folks every day in my job that I do, and they've got an unbelievably difficult and hard job to do, and they're getting hamstringed by management here, and that's unacceptable, and I want to show my support any way I can.
Absolutely. Have you talked to any of the nurses today about their experiences?
Yeah, I mean, I talk to them on a day-to-day basis. I've talked to a few today. They've been really psyched that there's some other folks out here, helping them out. We got union members and community members from all over the state out here showing support, and I think they're psyched about it. They're loving it, and it's good to know because there's been a lot of hateful kind of attacks and misinformed people out there that are writing some pretty nasty comments in the papers and things like that, and I'm just out here to combat that. Let people know this is about patient safety. I know it is. I'm not a member of their union, but I know this is about patient safety, and there's no place they would rather be right now than in there taking care of the patients, and it's unfortunate that this is what it's come to, but sometimes you got to stand up. You got to stand up for what's right. You got to stand up for your patients, and as a paramedic, I feel exactly the same way, and that's why I'm out here.
That hatred coming from?
Well, I think there's a lot of anti-union sentiment out there, period, these days. You know what I mean? Most of it absolutely misguided, and I think anytime you've got a big group bringing people in here from away, to take the jobs of hard-working neighbors, my friends and neighbors and colleagues in this neck of the woods, they're going to be spreading some hate and discontent. You know what I mean? I think that. I think if people really educate themselves about the issues and realize this isn't about wages, this isn't about anything else, this is about making sure that, people get the nursing care that they need, that they have the people on staff to take care of our friends and our neighbors, and they're hurting. They need this, you know what I mean? And they wouldn't be out here if they didn't. They wouldn't be out here if they didn't, you know what I mean? I'm a deer hunter. It's deer season. The last place I want to be right here is stand on a sidewalk. I'd rather be out in the woods hunting deer, but the fact is, you got to do this, and I'm psyched to see the community support. I'm psyched to see the number of people out here from so many different organizations saying, yeah, solidarity. Let's do this together. Let's let the community know. Let's let management know that this is important. That we're not going to compromise patient safety. We're not going to compromise, the oaths that we've taken and the licenses that we hold for anything. And that's what we're here for.